If you're a beginner needing an easy-to-use video editor for YouTube or some other purpose, or you're a professional that requires more advanced features, there's a free video editor for you. So coming up in this top 5, I'll count down the best free video editing software for Windows, Mac and Linux, going over the pros and cons of each. Qualify: the program must not have any time limits, forced watermarks, and allows for the exports of projects in a resolution of 10 and/or in pesetas HD up to 4K. Let's get started. Starting off our countdown, coming in at number 5 is VSDC. For Windows only, this nonlinear video editor is similar to expensive programs like Final Cut Pro and Premiere Pro. First released in 2011, they've made considerable improvements to their interface and includes tons of features. Some of those features include the ability to add audio and visual effects and transitions. There's a motion tracking tool, support for most of the popular audio and image format types, and just like the others coming up, allows for the export of your projects in HD and 4K. VSDC is more than just a video editor. When you launch it, your choices are blank project, create slideshow, import content, video capture, and screen capture, along with how-to guides for its top features. To quickly begin a new project, select blank project. In the pop-up window, give your project a name. You can leave the rest of these blank. The others you may need to change are the output resolution and the frame rate. When you're done, click on Finish. For those of you familiar with the old interface, you'll notice it's much improved. As I mentioned earlier, the user interface for VSDC has improved quite a bit, and it's more intuitive than it used to be. There is a slight learning curve, but it's not too difficult. I'd recommend that you check out their how-to section on their site with tutorials and various categories that will help you out when getting started. Coming in at number 4 is OpenShot. First released in 2008. This free and open source video editor is a great choice for beginners with less of a learning curve than most of the others mentioned in this video. It has a good set of features. Some of those include audio and video effects, a large number of transitions, 3D animations. There's no limit to the number of layers you can have, and it supports most file types. These layout is designed very well that clips to your videos. Select project files. Go find the clips on your computer that you'd like to add and drag and drop them into the box. Click those files and drag them onto the timeline. To add a transition between two clips, select the Transitions tab. There's many to choose from. Left-click a transition and drag it down to the timeline. To increase or decrease the transition, go to either side, look for the double arrows, then left-click and drag it to the desired length. Let's click and drop it onto the end of the first clip. Then take that second clip and drag it over the transition. Let's see how that looks. Well, OpenShot has improved quite a bit, fixing a lot of the bugs that used to make it crash and have performance issues. Users with low system specs are still experiencing some lag and other issues, but otherwise we have a computer that can handle it. It's a great program. OpenShot is available for Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and now offers support for Chrome OS. Coming in at number 3 is Shotcut. This free and open source program is another one that's been around for a while. Have you been in development since 2004? Its initial release was in 2011. The simple-to-use video editor is what we first use when producing videos for YouTube. It offers support for most of the popular audio, image, and video file formats with resolution support up to 4K. The video effects include various filters, color correction tools, along with compositing and blending modes. One downside is the number of transitions offered is limited, and beginners will appreciate how easy it is to work with their timeline when compared to more complicated programs when adding and editing clips and working with multiple tracks. The learning curve to use Shotcut is moderate, but in a short time it becomes very intuitive. For example, adding a crossfade is simple. First, drag a clip from your file manager onto the timeline. Add your second clip to the end of the first. Now left-click and drag the second clip near the end of the first and let go. Playing it back, you'll now see the crossfade between those two clips that was easy to set up. Shotcut is available on all 3 of the major platforms: Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Back to the countdown, and the runner-up spot coming in at number 2 is Kdenlive. Its free and open source program released in 2008 is very similar to Shotcut, but with more features. In the last few years, it's stepped up its game and has improved quite a bit. It allows for multi-track editing, supports just about any audio or video file you throw at it, and the interface can be customized in a layout that works best for you. Also included are dozens of audio and video effects and transitions. In addition, the theme can be changed to one of the various light and dark themes built, and loading clips into your project is simple. With the project been selected, drag and drop them into the box. Drag and drop them down to the timeline. If you'd like to change the color theme for the interface, go to Settings here at the top, Color Theme, and select your theme. To learn how to use Kdenlive, they've got a manual on their site with a quick start guide and tutorials. For many years, Kdenlive is only available for Linux, and now has a version for Windows which I've tested and works great. And if you have an older Mac lying around, it supports Intel-based Macs. At this time, there is no support for M1 or M2-based Macs. In the top spot, coming in at number 1, DaVinci Resolve is the best free video editing software released in 2004. It's actively in development by Blackmagic Design based in Australia, and is used in many blockbuster Hollywood productions. Their free edition is so feature-packed, even more so than most paid video editors. It's amazing. It's still free. It has so many great features we could spend all day talking about them. There are fusion effects built and lets you create quality, motion graphics, and visual effects. It includes more than 100 other Fairlight tools for audio post-production. And it supports all major file formats and resolutions up to 4K, but no force watermarks, high limits, or any other crap. Has a great layout that looks modern. For those of you asking you how to add transitions using DaVinci Resolve, here's your mini tutorial. After you've added your clips to the timeline, click Edit here at the bottom of the window. Now drag and drop one of your clips over the top of the other. In the toolbar at the top, select the effects library. As you can see, it's already selected. Scroll down to Video Transitions and select the one you want. Let's go with barn door. Left click and drag it to the portion of the clip overlapping the other and let go. So now see a small box on top of the clip. If you left click and drag the outermost edge, you can change the length of the transition. Let's preview it. I won't sugarcoat this. DaVinci Resolve has a very steep learning curve, but once you get familiar with it, it becomes easier to use. I do not recommend watching any tutorials on YouTube because they'll lead you down the wrong path. Do as I did when getting started. Watch the numerous training videos on their site and you'll be fully competent in very little time. DaVinci Resolve has two versions. DaVinci Resolve is free, and DaVinci Resolve Studio will cost you $295. For 99.9% of people, the free version will be all that they need. It's available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. Thanks for watching. Links are in the description. Hopefully this video helped those of you looking for free video editing software. If it did, give this video a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments the video editor you plan to use and for what purpose. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe and click the bell to not miss out on our latest top 5s and do other tech related stuff right here on Nafi Tech.